Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody rise up weekdays, catch us live somebody. Let's go.
Good afternoon. Good morning and good evening, everybody. Dag nabbit. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in good spats. Because another day above the dirt is what? Always a blessing. Let's not forget that, okay, loves? Let's not forget that, okay? Let's not forget. Woo! We got some great news in my personal opinion. I mean, I'm not fully happy, but I'm happy enough. I'm happy enough right now about some things, because you want to know why I'm happy and excited about this? Because, justice is coming. Yeah. So, we got some things we have got to get into a conversation about. We got some breaking news, big news over a case we have been covering for a minute now. And I've been waiting for this moment to happen, y'all. I've been waiting for this moment to happen. It was eventually going to happen. I honestly just didn't think it was going to happen right now. Okay? So we got some breaking news. And I know this, it's messed up. I'm going to be real. It's really messed up to be like hype about something that is so tragic. But I'm hyped because we're going to get justice for this kid. And this could mean something else too here in the very near future. Hopefully very soon. Hopefully before the end of the day. I'll explain here in just a little bit. Okay? So do me a solid before we get into everything. Every damn thing. Do me a solid. Hit that like button down below, please and thank you. Hit that like button down below. Crush that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. And if you are watching on these other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, Twitch, Kick, please do me a favor. Hit that follow button over there as well. Okay? It's very simple ask. I don't ask for a whole lot. I'm a very simple man. Okay? I'm just an innocent man. So hit that follow button, please, and thank you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Subscribe. Crush it. Scribbity-scribe. Okay? That'll be amazing as well. Subscribe right here to my YouTube channel. Go over to my second channel, The Pascal Show Clips. And, of course, go check out Pascal Raw, another channel I have. Okay? Still working on that one. Okay? Still in a baby embryo stage, but check it out if you can, okay? Hit that notification bell, set it all on all platforms so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, okay? Because it is random, okay? That would be amazingly wonderful, all right? Hit that join button down below. Check out my Patreon, and of course, check out PascalMerch.com, all right? Please and thank you. Okay, guys, we're going to have to get into this fairly quickly because there's some big developing news that just happened just a second ago. And we have definitely got to talk about this. And shout out to everybody who follows the show, who's been keeping me up to date on things. Because, you know, I'm literally in the middle eating lunch. I'm not kidding. I have my lunch right here. Like, seriously, proof positive. I was in the middle eating lunch when I got this update about this update. And I literally dropped everything and just rushed in here to try to get everything together so I could talk to you guys about all of this, right? But nonetheless, this is some pretty shocking information. I'm going to be real. And of course, I am definitely happy about this turn of events for a lot of different reasons. I think this is going to be the start of something very big, and we're going to be finding out that very, very soon what that very big situation gonna be. But like I said, this I think is the start of a journey towards full-on transparency and justice for Emmanuel Haro. Now, again, I just wanted to pull this up here. So just grant me a second here, because I had to shut things down. Like I had to shut a bunch of things down. And honestly, like I was really getting ready to talk to you guys about something else. And then this broke. Okay. So I didn't get a chance to pull up a photo of this little baby, but I want to pull this photo up of this kid. Of course, so that you guys can see this beautiful kid right here, Emmanuel Haro. All right. 10 months old. All right. 10 months old. And what's really insane to me is that you have a couple, Jake and Rebecca Haro, that were sitting there basically saying, oh, yeah, he was taken from us. That's what happened, right? And we're going to do a crash course into it before we actually go into the into the nuts and bolts of this whole thing, just to be completely real with y'all, okay? Because again, this is just insane. This whole story is insane, and it's only getting worse. It only gets worse until now. Okay, as you guys are seeing the title above or down below, wherever you're watching this show right here. So here's the thing. Rebecca Haro says that when the time that Emmanuel Haro was taken from her, she was going and getting gloves, football gloves or she was on her way to get football gloves for one of her kids, okay? Or one of the kids that they were watching football for, little league kind of football. Anyway, they go to this sporting goods store. She pulls up, and baby Emmanuel, I guess, messed his pants. This is what she says. He's a kid. He's 10 months. He's in a diaper. So she goes, okay, I got out of the car. I went to the back. I pulled him out of the car seat, and I started to change his diaper. I was in the middle of starting to change his diaper. Then when out of nowhere, somebody came up to her from behind and basically said, hola. Was it a mouth guard? I could have sworn it was gloves. Maybe I'm wrong about that. My apologies, okay? I'm just going off the top of the dome here, all right? Regardless, she went to the sporting goods store to get something for one of the kids, one of her kids, okay, that she was watching football for, okay? They were at football practice. She drove down there, right? She goes to the store. She's getting the baby out of the car seat. And then out of nowhere, a man comes up and says, hola. And she turns around and he just knocks her clean out. He cleans her clock, sending her straight to the ground, lights out. She went night-night, as she said. She didn't say that, but she went night-night. Hit the ground. Then she came to. When she came to, she got up. Her car is still there, but baby Emmanuel is nowhere to be found. So, of course, she runs inside the store asking if anybody has seen the baby boy. Of course not. Police show up. And, of course, she says, oh, yeah, I was looking for him and all this stuff. And I went to the back. I was changing his diaper, and then all of a sudden somebody said, hola, right? And, of course, we got to take a look at this because this is what she looked like during her initial interviews. Because the marking, because I got to use these code words, the marking on her face, okay, on the left side of her or the right side of her face, obviously everyone's like, oh my gosh, clutching their pearls. Oh my God. Rebecca, are you okay? Oh my God, bless his heart. He's such a precious little child, which he is. But the marking on her face flew many, many red flags. Because a lot of people were saying, wait a second, if this was a fresh marking on her face, fresh, would it look like this? Some of y'all went into town on this and to expert level, being like, yo, I've seen black eyes. And that is not fresh. Now, remember, She had just been hit maybe 24 hours before this interview. You mean to tell me she has Wolverine super healing, X-Men super healing factors in her body? That was one thing that I thought in the very beginning. I'm like, this seems weird that the right side of her face would have this marking on her face, but there's no other marking anywhere else. Like I said before, she got straight up the way she says it. She got her clock cleaned. Okay? She went night-night. Somebody said, hola. And then she goes, see? And then he went, broken. You know what I mean? Straight up, just right? So much that it would make the earth shake. Okay? Then she falls. And some people fall so hard, they lose their lives because their head hits the ground so hard. You see what I'm saying? But no, she has no other markings on her body except for the marking right here under her right eye, which makes no sense. I talked about it. Doesn't make any sense. Hola, like it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any bloody sense. So, because of us being, we were born during the day, but we were born yesterday type thing, we all got savvy to the situation, right? We all got savvy to it. We're like, are you kidding me? Come on. And some of us were like, towing the line because you didn't want to be rude. You didn't want to come off like callous, like you didn't care. You didn't think, you know what I mean? You're like, because of the marking on her face. But some of us, a lot of us were like, but the marking on her face shows like that's like a couple weeks. Oh, are you sure she really got knocked the F out just yesterday? I don't know. The water stinks with this one. And her story's aging like milk. You know what I'm saying? But you guys got smart. And so did the rest of the world too. The rest of the world caught up because it's like, oh, everybody else is saying the same thing that I'm thinking too. So I'm not a jerk off. Damn. I might be smart about this one. She lying. Yeah, she lying. So, of course, this case has transpired, has continued to unravel while the family, the couple, okay, Jake and Rebecca are living in their home, chilling in the cut, while police are going in and out of their home. And obviously the one dead giveaway is when at first they were willing to work things out, help them out, help police out, and then suddenly out of nowhere, they weren't willing to participate. They weren't willing to work things out and tell their story because their story kept on unraveling. And they're like, oh, well, we need our lawyers. And it's like, well, you don't need your lawyers. I get it, lawyering up. I get it to a certain extent. But at the same time, when you're trying to find your kid, you should be doing everything you can to find your kid. Whatever you need. That's fine. If you need a lie detector test, that's fine. I ain't lying. Come on with it. Right? But they were not willing to work anything out with 5-0. So they just started huddling up, hiding out in their home. Police were in and out of that home. They said that they found traces of red in the house. So on and so forth. Apparently they cut out things from the house. They were looking in the backyard and on the outskirts around the surrounding areas of this home. While they just sat there, I don't know, maybe watching Maury Povich. I don't know. But they weren't participating. They weren't out there, boots on the ground, at least trying to find their baby boy, which to me, to be completely honest, is a dead ass giveaway of you having something to do with the unaliving of your own child. You're not willing to go out there and put in the work? Really? Looks suspicious to me. So then finally, I'm just going to skip ahead because there's a lot of things that have happened. We heard, before we go into the final place, or final stage before we go into the final thing that we are going into, the headline. We also find out about another baby girl that Jake the fake put his paws on. I can't even say that is even his child. Yes, I know he sired her. Yes, I know he brought this child into the world. But at the same time, I mean, was he really a dad? Was he really a father? You know, you could be a father and a dad. You could be separate too. You could be a father and you can be a dad. But you could be both and you could be separate, right? But I don't even want to give him any of those titles. He was a sperm donor, y'all. Okay? He was a sperm donor. At least that's how he treated that baby girl. And we found out the vicious things that he did to that child too. Now that girl doesn't have much of a life. I hate to say it like that. Yes, she's precious. Yes, she is beautiful. But she doesn't have much of a life. She will have to have someone wait on her hand and foot for the rest of her days because of what he did and his previous wife at that time, the mother of this child as well, what they did to her when she was only a few months old as well. But we learned about that. He had a history of violence, deplorable, despicable things. And yet he still had his Timu lawyer coming out here. Remember that guy? Remember him? Remember him looking like a big ass grape? You don't remember? He was like, why did he look like a comic book arch villain? Why was he always dressed up like a comic book arch villain though? Explain that to me though. But do you remember that guy? And he was out here saying, oh yeah, no, you got it all twisted, guys. My friend, not even his client, he's just out here speaking on his behalf, even looking even more like a fool, because obviously he's using that as an opportunity to put his stuff, an opportunity to put his name out there and his law firm out there. But why would you make him look even dumber? Hold on. Do I have a photo of this mother lover? Hold on. Do I even? Yes, I do. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. Why was he dressed up? You know what I mean? Batman, you can't get me. Hoo-hoo. You know what I mean? I'm waiting for like something like that. You know? Like a Latino penguin. You know what I'm saying? No? Okay. All right. But you remember him though. Remember him? Yeah, that happened. that actually happened. Okay. But he was out here going, oh, no, you guys got it all twisted. My friend, because I don't technically represent him, he is innocent. He's innocent. You got it all wrong. All the stuff that you've been saying out here, y'all been saying about my friend is completely inaccurate and wrong, only to find out that a good portion of it was true. They did go through his home. They did get pieces of evidence in that home. They did see traces of red in that home. If this lawyer's out here just saying whatever the hell he wants, Timu lawyer, remember him? Timu? So moving forward, they finally get arrested, which I applaud. And it was a glorious moment. We all enjoyed it. Everybody and their mama. I mean, there were so many TikTokers out there. Oh my God, it's happening. You know what I mean? And then they were throwing in their TikTok name. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just interesting. You know, oh my God, it's happening. It's happening right now. True Crime 77.99.9. Can't believe it. Go check it out. True Crime 77.99. They both have been arrested. True Crime 77.99. It's like, okay, we get it. Remember all that? Monumental moment, though. Very happy that they got arrested. But then they started throwing things askew. They started saying, oh, no, 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 no. Like she said, he's a good man. He would never do anything. He's a good man. He's proper. He's good. Right? After they get arrested. Then we also see him out there on the side of the road of an interstate, taking the police on a wild goose chase out in the desert hills to find this baby boy, only to find nothing. Why did they do that? And all the while, wifey, Rebecca, she's the one sitting there going, oh, no, 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 no. He's a good man. He would never hurt a fly. He's a good man. All lies. Then he did an interview. We got to pull his face up too. Golly, because he's going to be the star of the show right now, ain't he? We look at him. Let's pull this one up. There he is, Jake the fake. He does an interview and says she has nothing to do with anything, that she is innocent and that she's a great mother. I'm sorry. There was something. Some of my lunch got lodged in my throat. She a good mother. She a good mother. Yet she allowed all of this stuff to go down. This is what he said in an interview. Still maintaining his innocence, by the way. Nothing to do with this, right? Which makes no sense. Makes no sense. Here's the thing. They did a press conference right around that time. We were understanding and finding out more information about Emmanuel and what actually happened to him. And what the DEA says is that they believe that he basically succumbed to injuries from long-term CA, long-term attacks. Imagine that. This little baby enduring what he endured for however long he endured it, succumbs to those injuries. That's the theory that they said, that the DA believes is what happened here, which it could be that, or it could be that big boy Jake the fake lost his marbles, lost his cool, and did something terrible. Because I still truly believe that that marking on her face, which we find out that it's on both sides of her face. It's not just on one. So she was wearing makeup on the other side of her face so that her story would be connected, would make sense. Oh, she got hit from this side. So it wouldn't make any sense for this other side to have any markings. So she started, as you can see, she got makeup on that side of the face. But when you see these mug shots, which I'll show you guys in a second, both of them. I believe that whatever happened to her happened around the same time that Emmanuel Haro lost his precious little life. That's what I truly think. I truly think that Emmanuel was gone way before he went missing, way before he was reported missing, before a man walked up and said hola, which, by the way, should be the title to a damn true crime show. Don't take it. I'm using it. The man who said hola. Seriously. Live on Telemundo. Just saying, this is some pretty crazy stuff. But I truly think that this baby boy lost his life way before, around the same time that she got those markings on her face. Fresh, I'm saying. Fresh. And then they sat down and they tried to come up with a plan. How are we going to get the world to be convinced that a man said hola and took our baby boy? How are we going to convince the world that this boy disappeared and was never to be heard or seen from ever again? And it's not because of us. It is not our fault. How can we cover the tracks so that there is no question that we are innocent and that there's a man, very evil man, that apparently gets off whenever he says hola, took our child? He didn't say like greetings. No, he said hola. He didn't say sup though. He didn't say anything like that. He said hola. So again, very, very interesting stuff. Like I said, this is just a peppering, okay? A light seasoning, if you will, of the timeline. And it may not be entirely 110% verbatim accurate on the whole freaking thing, okay? Like, am I sitting there going, on September 17th, Jake Haro said, no, I don't have that right here. This is breaking news, so I'm just going off the dome from what I remember, okay? And there's a lot more that I remember, but I don't want to go into too many, all that other stuff. If you don't know, go and check out all the shows and videos I've done about Jake and Rebecca and this beautiful baby boy, Emmanuel, and you'll get it all right there. But nonetheless, we are all here for one thing and one thing only. The reason why I wanted to give you guys I wanted to get some time to tell you guys what was going on, or, get you guys in here so I can tell you guys what's going on. Okay. Some very big deals going on here. We are finally getting some truths about what happened to Emmanuel. Hold on, guys. One second. Because obviously this is a very, very big moment that I think all of us are wanting to know the truth about. And it's coming. Hold on. Sorry, guys. All right. Let me pull this up. Very big moment, guys. Something I don't think we were all thinking that it was going to happen today at all. Honestly, I thought it was just going to be lies. I honestly thought it was going to be nothing but straight up lies, nonstop lies today. And I'm going to be honest, I'm very, very happy about this. First off, I'm shocked. Second, I'm happy this is happening. It's about damn time. Okay? So, here is the thing. Jake Haro has pled guilty to the unaliving of Emmanuel Haro. Yes, guys. And I think this is a very, very big deal. This could mean something huge in the very, very near future, possibly before the end of day today. This is just my assumption. I have no facts or no proof of that. It's not like I have a source that says something, nothing like that, okay? I just want to make that abundantly clear, all right? But nonetheless, this is a very, very big freaking deal. Why? Because here's the thing. We have all been wanting this to happen. Some sort of proof, some sort of honesty, some sort of information that could lead us towards Emmanuel getting some semblance of justice. Here's the thing. Father pleads guilty to all charges, including unaliving. This is massive. Okay? Here we go. So, the father of baby Emmanuel Haro pleaded guilty to all charges today. There is no word on whether investigators have located the remains of 7-month-old baby boy Emmanuel Haro. Now, I want to make this abundantly clear. Okay? Let me just make this abundantly clear. I think that they are going to find him today. Or at least they are going to find him before this weekend is over. I am hoping that I'm right. I am hoping that I'm right. Okay? Several fingers crossed. But here's the other thing, too. This could also mean that he took a plea deal. And if he took a plea deal, we got better things to do, babies. We got better things to do. So I'm just going to keep it a bean. I want justice, and I need him locked up for good. Let's not forget what he did to his baby girl, and that he was able to get out early and do a suspended sentence. And he still was violating his suspended sentence for doing the egregious and disturbing things that he did to his child. Before Emmanuel Haro was even a glimmer of, even a glint in his eye. I want to make that abundantly clear. All right? This guy, straight up, had an opportunity to turn his whole life around and do right. What did he do? He went back and did it all over again. He did this to Emmanuel, given zero damns. But here it is. They both appeared in court today. Get this. They both appeared in court today in Riverside, where Jake Haro pleaded guilty to all charges, which include second-degree homicide, filing a false police report, and the attack, got to use these code words, of a child under 8. Also, great bodily injury resulting in someone's demise. He is set to be sentenced on November 3rd. And I'm telling you right now, first off, yay, Hercules, yes, 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 Hercules, let's go. But here's the other thing too, okay? This judge better throw the mother-loving library at this mother lover. Do you understand? Do you understand? I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn if he took a plea deal. If he took a plea deal, I will be furious because he'll be back out again. He needs to be gone for the rest of his days. This is a repeat offender. He took his daughter's life, guys. I'm sorry. I know everybody and their mom is like, oh, no, 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 you know, blah, 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 blah. No, 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 no. That girl has not a life. That is not a life worth living. That is a life of torture. For the rest of her days, she will not be able to eat properly. She can't talk. She can't walk. She is paralyzed. She has she's intubated. A breathing machine. She can't do anything herself. She needs someone to wait on her hand and foot for the rest of her days. That judge better have that in the back of his mind. Or if they are going to do victim impact statements, the family, the adopted family of that baby girl, man, they better be at that sentencing. There should be a victim impact statement coming from them. Just to remind the judge exactly who this person is that you're about to throw away for however long you choose to throw him away for. This is somebody that should be gone for life, period. Miss me with the nonsense. Miss me with the nonsense if he gets to just get out. Okay? Let me just be real. So, here's the other thing that's very interesting here too. Emmanuel Haro's mother, Rebecca, she pled not guilty. How surprising. And her case will still continue. So she's also charged with the unaliving of Emmanuel Haro's unaliving, along with filing a false police report and other charges as well. Here's the thing. Both of them, they both deserve to be locked up. No matter what. They both deserve to be locked up. This should be without question. This should be without question. See, this is the problem I have, and I'm seeing this more and more. You know, shout out to all the true crime content creators and all that have been doing this as of late. But you know what really, really grinds my gears is people who are doing these terrible things to these littles or to just victims in general, and then they get away with it, only for them to go and do it again. Like, here it is. And, let me just be real. You do something so disgusting, right, to a kid or to an adult, and the judge decides to go easy on you, either because you got a good lawyer that was able to finesse something to get a good plea deal, whatever. I would take that as an opportunity to do right from that point on. Okay, this is fate, God, whatever you believe in, okay, atoms that make matter in this world, doesn't matter. The universe, science, whatever it is, pure dumb luck gave you another opportunity. You toe the line and you do the right thing. You just do the best you can. Rehabilitate yourself, be a good person, and stop making these terrible, terrible choices, right? But a lot of these people don't do that. And then we hear it countless times, over and over and over again. These particular people go back and they're repeat offenders. And they get themselves caught again. Sometimes they get caught more than just one time. Get sentenced more than just one time. And these people are still, after being caught one or two times afterwards, they're out here breathing in this freedom air. It makes no sense to me, guys. None. Zero. Whatsoever. Okay? So again, like I said, her case is still continuing. So she is still charged with his unaliving, still being charged with filing a false police report. Remember? Hola. Remember that? And other charges. Jake and Rebecca Haro were arrested on August 22nd after investigators concluded Emmanuel was not taken, as initially reported by his mother. Hola. And at August 27th, at an August 27th news conference, Riverside County District Attorney Hestron said investigators had a strong indication of where Emmanuel's body could be found, but no remains have been recovered. So here's the thing, okay? Let me just say this really quick, okay? First and foremost, where's Emmanuel? One thing is for sure, I am very hopeful that by him, Jake, confessing and saying, yep, I'm pleading guilty, that maybe he's turning to police officers right now and saying, tell us where the baby is. Now that you've finally pled guilty to doing this, to being involved in the unaliving of this baby boy, can you please just tell us where he is right now? No hesitation, just blurt it out so we can go get him. Because let's be real, the DA just said weeks ago, almost 2 months ago, yep, we got a strong indication of where the baby boy might be. He didn't sound like that at all, but you get what I'm saying. He was very erudite, very articulate, We have an idea of where he is, And what happened? Baby's still not been found. So by him pleading guilty, I feel like he's getting some sort of deal. I think he tried to work out some sort of deal. And it might be a deal, obviously, for himself, but also it might be a deal for her too, for Rebecca. That's what I think. What you think? You think you think he took a plea deal? That's the reason why he spoke out and said what he said and pled guilty? Or do you think he just finally said, I can't hold on to this truth and I cannot fake this lie anymore? But now is the ample time for police to swoop in and go, tell us where the kid is. Please just tell us where he is so we can get him. You tell us that, then we can tell the judge that you told us where he went or where you put him. And that could, maybe the judge will go light on you for your sentencing. You know, he or she or the judge may not just be so harsh on you. Come on, man. Think about it, man. Right? It's definitely something to think about. It's definitely something to think about for sure. We got to go over to Garrett Hoddle because he was one of the first people that I saw. And of course, thank you everybody who's been sending me all this stuff. Because like I said, as soon as I saw this, I was like, what? I almost spat out my food. I was like, what? And I ran into this mug. But let's hear what they got to say real quick.
Good morning, it's Garrett Hoddle, KSQ News Channel 3. We just heard from Jake and Rebecca Haro. The big update, Jake Haro pleading guilty to murder of his 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro. It was an emotional scene in the courtroom. Jake was tearful. He pled guilty to murder of his 7-month-old baby, Emmanuel Haro. And he also pled guilty in his trailing cases, including probation and a gun charge and banning. Sentencing has been scheduled for November 3rd. Meanwhile, for Rebecca Haro, she has a felony settlement conference. That's on the 28th. Her prelim is scheduled for November 3rd. So how all this plays out as we lead into November in terms of Jake and Rebecca is a big question. We're still following the court case very closely right now. This just happened. Stay tuned to News Channel 3 for any updates.
I'm going to play that again, one more again, because I want you guys to hear that. One more again. Okay? One more time.
One. Hi, everybody. Good morning. It's Garrett Hoddle, KSQ News Channel 3. We just heard from Jake and Rebecca Haro. The big update, Jake Haro pleading guilty to murder of his 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro. It was an emotional scene in the courtroom. Jake was tearful. He pled guilty to murder of his 7-month-old baby, Emmanuel Haro. And he also pled guilty in his trailing cases, including probation and a gun charge and banning. Sentencing has been scheduled for November 3rd. Meanwhile, for Rebecca Haro, she has a felony settlement conference. That's on the 28th. Her prelim is scheduled for November 3rd. So how all this plays out as we lead into November in terms of Jake and Rebecca is a big question. We're still following the court case very closely right now. This just happened. Stay tuned to News Channel 3 for any updates.
Okay, so again, first off, they said, yeah, like Joanna just said, tear for my ass. Yeah, tear for my ass too. Okay, full on. They're like, oh yeah, you know, they were very, very sad. It was a tearful moment, and there's no tears. There was no tears. Okay, in my personal opinion, there's no tears about this situation. They both did what they did. Okay, and they tried to hide it, and they tried to hide it for a while. Okay, this is not a situation where they just said, oh yeah, you know, let's go and report this immediately. They hid this. They hid this for a long time, guys. All right. That's what I think. They hid this not for like years, but they hid this for at least a few weeks. I don't think this is a situation where they just this randomly happened and then suddenly they came out and said, you know, this is what happened. And we, you know, turn me in. I did this. You see what I'm saying? No, they didn't do that. Okay. That's not the case here. They lied. They're actors. They're cosplaying Trump, like cosplaying victims. That's what we saw. We didn't find my baby boy. She was just changing his diaper. Remember that crap? I mean, that's just diabolical. That's just diabolical in itself. He tried to change his diaper, and they look like that. He came up and he said, "Hola." You know what I mean? My dog got stung by a bee. Very Amber Heard-ish, okay? Unbelievable crap, guys. Unbelievable crap. I might have to play some of that just for a quick trip down memory lane for you guys to remember the BS that they were feeding us. But let's take a look at this. This is just another update.
We have some breaking news just coming in. The father of missing 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro has just pleaded guilty in court. Jake Haro has pleaded guilty to second-degree murder, assault causing bodily harm to a child, and filing a false report. Jake and his wife, Rebecca Haro, also claim baby Emmanuel was kidnapped from a parking lot in Yucaipa back in August. Investigators believe Emmanuel died from long-term child abuse by his parents. His remains have yet to be found. Inland Empire reporter Leticia Juarez is inside the courthouse in Riverside and is following the latest developments in this case. We will bring you more throughout the day on abc7.com and on Eyewitness News this afternoon.
Okay, now I want to see for myself if there's anything, if they've done or covered or said anything more, right? Because I'm kind of curious as to what else has been said, right? Because that's very short information, right? Just he pled guilty and that's it. And I feel like there should be more to this, right? Hold on. Real quick. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of people. There's not a whole lot of people talking about this, which is wild. I will say this, okay? Like I said before, I am very, very surprised. Okay, I am very surprised that I'm surprised about this turn of events, because I was expecting them to just say plead not guilty and it's just going to go back. You know what I mean? They're going to go back and there's going to be a trial and then there'll be people outside protesting and say where's Emmanuel and all that stuff. And so regardless, I'm very happy about this turn of events. I'm not going to lie. I'm very, very happy about this turn of events, but I am still very surprised about the pleading guilty. I am surprised about that for sure. Again, what does this mean, right? Does this mean that we're going to get the truth of what really happened to Emmanuel? Does this mean that we're going to find out exactly where Emmanuel is? I don't know. Let's see. Let's see here. We got another thing from ABC7. Let's take a look at this. So it says here, baby Emmanuel's father pleads guilty to second-degree murder, okay, of his 7-month-old son. So the father of, well, we already know, Jake Haro, on Thursday pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in the case of his missing 7-month-old son. Jake Haro also pleaded guilty to attacking or to pain causing bodily harm to a child and filing a false report, okay, which will be a misdemeanor. He cried in court as he submitted his pleas and is scheduled to be sentenced November 3rd. No information came to light regarding the whereabouts of the missing baby boy. Meanwhile, the mother pleaded not guilty to an amended criminal complaint. The details of that complaint were not immediately made public. Prosecutors are expected to provide more details about the new developments in the case sometime today. Okay. The pleas came after the parents of Emmanuel appeared in court Thursday morning for another felony settlement conference for talks aimed, there it is, for talks aimed at a plea agreement. Damn. Yep. So he definitely did something. He definitely pled guilty for a plea deal, for a deal. Okay, so he got a deal. What does that deal entail? Is it just to save and protect Rebecca? Or not? Carol, Rebecca standing by that Ola, huh? Yeah, it looks like it. If a damn show looks like it. Ain't that some crazy stuff? Excuse me. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? Anybody else looking at that and going, man, that's crazy. How is she saying not guilty to any of this? We already know that you lied about the Ola baby. So what are you trying to get off on? So a felony settlement conference typically takes place before a preliminary hearing. It is an informal discussion between the prosecution and the defense attorneys in front of a judge in which they can exchange information and try to negotiate a resolution to the case. Multiple conferences are not unusual. The elder Haros previously attended one in mid-September. Emmanuel was reported missing on August 14th. His parents were arrested in connection to the baby's demise. The filing in this case reflects our belief that baby Emmanuel was a victim and he was attacked over time, and that eventually, because of those attacks, he succumbed to those injuries. That's what we believe. This is what Riverside County District Attorney Mike Hestron said at that time. Remember, you also had Ondatita out there being like, yo, I'm out here trying to find him too. Can you give us some idea of where he might be? And he's like, all you keyboard warriors, all you sofa sleuths, armchair sleuths, step back, shut up. Right? But have they found him yet? Have they, though? No, they have not. I'll just answer that for you guys, just in case you didn't know. Jake and Rebecca were taken into custody in August after a multi-agency investigation into the disappearance and presumed demise of their son. It began August 14th when Rebecca said that she was attacked and the baby was kidnapped in a Big Five parking lot in Yucaipa. Remember all that? Hola. See? You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. On the theater. Yeah. And he was doing great coverage. Okay. And he would not stop. So I wonder if he's talked about this yet or not. But regardless, big news. Big freaking news. Questions were raised after authorities were said there were inconsistencies in the parents' stories, which is obviously a huge dead giveaway, leading them to search for their Cabazon home multiple times before they were arrested and charged. Okay, so we know all about this. But now, like I said, Emmanuel Haro's father has admitted to having something to do with the unaliving of Emmanuel. That's right there. Right off the bat, we could be rest assured he did something. He did that. Now, here's the thing, though. It's second degree unaliving. So I'm wondering what it was. Was it an accident? Right? Was it attacking this child until the child succumbed to the injuries? Okay. OTT was out there on the Tila, was out there. That's what's up. I'm glad he was. Real talk. I'm glad he was. For real. But he pleads to doing this. What does Rebecca have to do with this? Does she have anything to do with this? That's the question I have too. Hold on. We got to look at some of this crap. Just a little bit of this stuff. Hold on. Just a little trip down memory lane. Because this stuff is just unfreaking believable. And it's wild how quickly this story, this case, kind of like this case spun out of control very quickly. Very, very quickly. Sorry, y'all. There's just so much coverage about this case. It's unbelievable. Timu lawyer. Have mercy. My Lord, my Lord. Hold on. Dang, where the that's the lawyer. Yeah, like I said, we were covering this, and then it just, once they got arrested, everything just kind of went radio silent for a minute. We were all waiting for some sort of hearing, right? So I was hoping that we would have, let's see, hold on. Let's try that. Much better. Let's see.
I fell on the floor, and I said, as I got up, I couldn't find my son on the floor.
I just want you guys to see this crap. Just a little bit of a trip down memory lane. I had to dig through archives because it's like there's so much coverage, there's so much stuff, and it's been repurposed 15 million times. But I just wanted to show you guys just a little bit of this crap, just real quick.
I fell on the floor, and I said, as I got up, I couldn't find my son.
A 7-month-old baby boy was reportedly kidnapped right out of this Big Five parking lot. This is 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro, one of 5 children in this family from Cabazon, reportedly kidnapped last night in Yucaipa. Now, his mom told me that they were here last night at a nearby football stadium in Yucaipa with the other kids playing youth football, and she had to run down here to Big Five to buy some equipment for her stepson, specifically a mouth guard. When she got here to the parking lot, she says that's when she noticed her 7-month-old's diaper needed to be changed. So she says she got out of her truck, went around to the back, and laid him down on the seat to change his diaper when she was attacked from behind.
I got him out of the car seat, and I laid him down and so I could get his diapers ready. And somebody said, "Hola," and that's all I remember. And I saw white. And a hearing sound, I fell on the floor. And I said, as I got up, I couldn't find my son. I checked around my truck. And I ran into Big Five. And I asked the lady if she saw a baby or someone with a baby. She said no. It was a happy boy. He smiled.
Whoever took our son.
Like, what? I'm sorry. Why? Like it just, good God. Why? You know what I mean? Just why? Why? I have no other words to say but that. Why? Okay? Why? I can't get through this without wanting to reach through the screen and just, you know what I mean? Throttle. But real talk, he's trying to get his best. Like he's channeling, I don't know who he's channeling. Okay? I don't know if he's trying to channel his inner Daniel Day-Lewis. Okay? Diamond Blue Phillips or something like that. Blue Diamond Phillips, that's what I meant. You know what I mean? I don't know what, that's a deep cut too, damn. But you know what I'm saying? Blue Diamond Phillips, nobody? La 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 bamba. Okay, but moving on, I'm just saying ziggity damn, and he's trying to get the quiver and it's Jake the Fake. It's definitely Jake the Fake. I can't even look at this man. Well, we got to look at it because this is what they were doing in the beginning. Whoever has my kid, like that. It was the, you know what I mean? Come on, y'all.
He smiled.
Whoever took our son. Please give him back.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't look. I can't look at this and not like, you know what I mean? Instant guttural reaction from me. I'm like, I want to roast this dude. You know what I'm saying? Whoever has my son. Come on now. Come on, man. Why? Why?
Search for this 7-month-old baby boy continues. Police and the family desperate to find out where he is.
I mean, they did everything they could to cover this whole thing up. Obviously, it didn't work out. Okay. Obviously, it didn't work in their favor at all. All of this was one bold, fat ass lie the entire time. What's really sad about this whole thing is that we still have a baby boy that's nowhere to be found. We still do not know where he is. I've said this a million times on multiple shows, and I'm going to keep saying it until I'm blue in the face. But some parents need the license to parent. Some of these people should have the license to even do the hibbity-dibbity. I'm just being real, okay? Because these kinds of situations are happening more often than not. And that's what is very frustrating to me about this whole thing. Because just so you know, if you didn't know, not Kata Scott, Nakai Pratt's own mother has been arrested in connection to that 6-month-old baby boy's demise. Do you understand? And there's a slew of other cases that I haven't even had time to cover because there's been so many just flying out the gate. And I'm going, what's up with all this evil in the world? So just so you know, again, like I said, I need to make sure you guys are hitting that notification bell and make sure you set it to all so that you know whenever I upload anything from shorts to regular size videos to lives. Okay. Because I am putting out a lot of shorts because a lot of times I don't have all the time to do a full explaining, full thought out videos. So I give you guys those quick, like, here's the breaking news of this going on right now. But again, let me tell you something. Okay. Let me tell you something. When it comes to Nakai Pratt's case, the mother was arrested yesterday. Yeah. I talked about it first thing this morning. So please go check out that short. Okay. In her connection to the demise and the disappearance of Nakai. Of course, Nakai was found gone, right? But they did find him. So not only did the father have something to do with this, we also have the mother having something to do with that baby boy's demise as well. So like I said, I don't know what's going on with this world. I don't know what's going on. I feel like we've flown into a different dimension where evil is just taking over everybody. But we need to start unlearning this as quickly as possible. Now, when it comes to the twin, I talk about the twin in the short, but I will tell you this too. The twin for Nakai has a twin. He has a twin sister. She is alive. She is alive and well, and she is in the custody of DCFS. That's what's going on right now. But like I said, we are hearing more and more stories like this popping off. There's another case that I haven't even had an opportunity to talk about yet. And I'm going to be talking about that very, very soon. Most likely I'll be doing it as a short, give you guys a little bit of a tease, like an appetizer, a little warm up to the case, and then do a live conversation with you guys about it as well. But like I said, it is still screaming possibly foul play from family members, but we don't know yet. I just talked about another one where a little girl was basically found in the backyard of an abandoned home, only to find out that she had been gone a year prior. And family members, not only just the parents, but the family members, extended family, were in on the cover-up and hiding the remains of this baby girl, of this little girl, 12-year-old girl. Like I said, this keeps happening all the time. Emmanuel Haro's case is now it has become a tale as old as time. So at some point, this stuff has got to end. But here's the thing. All of these repeat offenders need to be held accountable the first time around. The very first time around. There should be no hesitation. First time around, let's go. Period. Zero tolerance right off the bat. Let me get some of these super chats here really, really quick. But hopefully, by the end of the day, I'm hoping by this weekend, we'll get some information, and hopefully they have found Emmanuel. Hopefully he is saying right now, he is in a room right now with cops, with law enforcement, and he's finally saying, okay, we put him here. If you're willing to plead guilty, then that means you know exactly where you put that baby boy's body. Where is he? Speak up now. First off, thank you so much. Whoa, Bluebird. 20. I think that was fully 20. Maybe I missed one, but thank you so much for gifting 20 memberships. Diggity damn. Thank you again. Thank you. Welcome all you guys who just became members. I really do appreciate this, Bluebird. Thank you. And if you can, guys, please put in some heart emojis, purple heart emojis in the chat for Bluebird for gifting you guys 20 memberships. Also, here's the other thing. It's a very simple ask. Please pay it forward. All right. Buy somebody a cup of coffee, open the door for somebody. It doesn't have to be anything financial. It could be something as simple as opening the door for somebody. Okay. Or giving a call to a friend of yours or a loved one that you haven't talked to in a while, just to check in and see how they're doing. Okay. Takes 5 minutes, unless they're long-winded, and if they are, good luck. But you're still doing something positive. Okay. You're still doing the right thing. Okay. So that's all I ask. All I ask is for you guys is to do that. All right. Thank you so much again, Bluebird. We really do appreciate it. Mimi, thank you so much for the super sticker. Bonita, thank you so much for being a member for the last 21 months. That's a long time. Thank you so much. Hi, DJ Richie, mods, and chat. I'm so late. Nah, you good. You didn't miss that much. I took my time to get to the meat and potatoes because I wanted everybody to come in, right? Nina, thank you so much for the super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Bluebird, again, thank you so much. Yes, you beat JLR to this story. Oh, well, sometimes we get ahead, sometimes we're behind. It is what it is. You know what I mean? He's been covering so much I've been seeing as well. So shout out to JLR. Mimi, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for the super chat. Hi, ladies, Pascal, and loved mods. Yes, shout out to the mods. Shout out to the mods. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, indeed. And yes, Queen, thank you so much for gifting 1 membership. I really do appreciate it. Welcome to the family, you new member. Okay, I appreciate the support. Like I said, put in those purple heart emojis. That'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. All right. But like I said, guys, obviously we're going to keep an eye on all this. This is some pretty crazy stuff. Maybe this is going to be a turnout that we were hoping for, which is we find Emmanuel. Emmanuel will get a chance to get put in his final resting place. And the family members that actually did love and care for him will get a chance to say goodbye to him in a proper way. Give that kid the respectful, proper burial that kid absolutely deserves. Also, I think this too. We all want to know how he passed away. What did Jake Haro just plead guilty to? Was it long-term attacks, or was this one attack? And also, when did this kid die? Be real. When did he completely leave this planet? That's something I think we're going to hopefully get when the body is found. So hopefully Jake Haro is doing the right freaking thing right now and confessing everything. And I mean, sure, he's probably hiding other truths to protect Rebecca, because I'm sure he is responsible for taking the life of Emmanuel, but she's an enabler. That's for damn sure. That's for damn sure. She's an enabler. But that's the thing, Angelina. You said second degree. I agree with that too. I'm like, second degree. What does that entirely mean? Wait. So I'm hoping that he's telling them where the body is found, so that they can do their proper examinations to find out if it is actually something where he was hurt over time and not like blunt force trauma and he was gone. You see what I'm saying? Because I feel like it's blunt force. But that's just me. He struck him too hard. That's what I truly think. But there's definitely a plea deal here. Does that sit right with me? Not entirely. Not entirely. But we'll see what happens here. The plea deal, I think, is for her. To save her a little bit. I think he's trying to be a hero. Okay? I truly think that. I think he's trying to be a hero for her. Not in our world. In their weird, demented world, he is being a hero for her. Because he's a good man. He's a good man. Right? F this dude. And F her too. Justice is coming. It may not be coming as quickly as we'd like it to, but it's coming. Are we ever going to see Emmanuel be found? I don't know. But I really hope they do find him sooner rather than later, so that if after they do their due diligence on his body, because his body is going to tell a story. Either it's going to go against what the DA believes happened to him, or it's going to go with what they believe happened to him. And if it's any way remotely close to what going against what the DA believes, that second degree M charge could go up to first. So we'll see what happens, but I just want to see the truth. I want this kid found. I want him brought back home so his family, the family that actually does love him, can actually say goodbye in a proper way. We're getting closer, though. I am hopeful. Anyway, guys, that is the show. I appreciate y'all for being here. It really means a lot. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you can, real quick, be sure to hit that like button down below. Crush it, do what it do. Hit that reaction button if you can, please, and thank you. Hit that reaction button real quick. All right. If you're watching on these other platforms. If you are watching on these other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, Twitch, Kick, make sure you hit that follow button, okay? Real quick. Melody, thank you so much for the super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much for the support. But again, make sure you hit that subscribe button here on my YouTube channel. Go to my second and third channel, The Pascal Show Clips and Pascal Raw. Make sure you're subscribed over there as well. Hit that notification bell, set it to all, so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because it is random. Okay? Now I'm giving you guys a lot of information very quickly. So make sure you're tuning in. Hit that notification bell down below, please. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. And of course, check out PascalMerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there. PascalMerch.com. Anyway, guys, it is time to get going. Much love to you guys. Stay safe out there. And we'll be talking very, very soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.